my eyes. I went to bed asleep with my f***ing eyes open. That's how locked in I am.
Philadelphia Eagles are world champions.
Hey, got it! Yeah!
Let's go, Phillies! Woo! KJ and I out here.
You are now listening to the Appreciate Your Input podcast with host Dalton Holland. A proud 302 Birds podcast experience. Now let's take it to the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Appreciate Your Input podcast. Happy Sunday, and hope everybody had a great weekend. Want to thank, of course, TickPick for sponsoring this show. If you guys haven't, please check out TickPick. Download the app today. The best place to buy all your tickets with no fees. But we got a great show for you guys tonight, covering a lot. Going to break down a couple things with the Phillies, including why they should miss Kody Clemens. They suck ass. We're just going to call it like it is. I mean, they've lost 9 of their past 10, and this offense really has looked stagnant since last Tuesday, I would say, when Bryce Harper was in there. Later in the show, we're going to be talking about the Eagles with Vic Fangio being honest or disrespectful towards Jalen Carter, how we feel about all that. We're going to be talking about Cooper DeJean. Yes, that's the main topic of the show. Cooper DeJean is in talks to potentially be moved to safety. This is the very beginning of this change, of this process, if it's going to happen. We're going to talk about it on the show tonight and whether or not I think that's a good thing or a bad thing for the young man. Last but not least, we're also going to be spinning the wheel, seeing how that goes for what is the best Gatorade flavor and bringing Amir on for that. But kicking off the show with something that I think is an obvious thing. Kody Clemens had a home run yesterday. Today, not so good. Didn't have any hits for his 2 at-bats. But Kody Clemens, when he was here, when he was hot, was a different beast, was a different animal. And I'm kind of frustrated with the Phillies Sorry, still getting over dinner. But I'm kind of frustrated with the Phillies. I felt like Kody Clemens was a great player. I mean, this season, he's batting .231. He's got 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 21 hits. But I just felt like he was clutch. And the guys that they've put in there in his place, I feel haven't sustained the role efficiently. It's upsetting. It's annoying. And it's frustrating that the Phillies organization didn't recognize a guy that had value and pay him. I know, obviously, they have to pay other guys and things like that happen, come and go. But I definitely think Kody Clemens should have been a piece that they had stick around. I mean, he was a stud. He was a beast. He was a locker room guy. It's not easy to find guys like that. And every time that Bryce Harper was out and he came in, I feel like he just filled that role and he did some and then more. It's rare to find people like that. It really is, especially in a sport like baseball where it's hard to be consistent. It's hard to be clutch consistently. And I feel like Kody Clemens was consistently clutch, if that makes sense, for the Phillies. That's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy role to have in this city. This city demands a lot out of their players, and I respect the hell out of Kody Clemens for it. Son of Roger Clemens, right? That's what people say. But yeah, I just think that more people are going to talk about missing Kody Clemens. They've already been talking about it, I should say. And it's going to be something that the Phillies look back on and regret if they haven't already in the front office. Trying to see if I have any more of the stats. Kyle Schwarber obviously is going to be the same player that he is. But when you had Kyle and Kody together, even when Bryce was out, it felt like that was super duper effective. So hopefully the Phillies recognize that. Hopefully they get their shit together. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? But moving on now to the Phillies. They just suck ass right now. There's no way to put it. They've lost 4 straight games, and it's just frustrating. They really are not in a good place. They don't have attitude. They don't have any spunk to him, it feels like. And it's sad. Whenever Bryce Harper leaves, this team, I just feel like has no identity. Like you can really see it's Bryce Harper's team, and that's not good. That's not sustainable. Like if I'm the Phillies organization and if I'm Bryce Harper, I'm going to be kind of upset at that because baseball's such a team sport where if one guy's off, another guy's got to be able to step up and show up. And unfortunately, that hasn't really happened yet. So I do think that the Phillies will hopefully bounce back tomorrow night. They're going against the Cubs. I'll be at the game. If anybody will be there, let me know in the comments. That would be hilarious. I would love to see some of you guys there. But the biggest thing is I think that the Phillies, they need to win 2 out of 3 games in this series. They need to take control. They need to be the alpha team. Because if they can do that, if they can find their identity throughout this series and start to, it isn't okay, we're so many games back. We need to dig out of this. We need to get up to the Mets. We're 3.5, 4.5 games back, whatever. Take it series by series. Take it game by game, and you will be okay. This team has a large payroll. And that's no mistake, right? Like they're paying these guys a lot of money with a lot of expectations. So I do think that the Phillies will get it together. I think that this is a short-term thing. For God's sake, not even a whole month ago, less than 20 days ago, 3 weeks ago, I should say, this team was on a hot streak, winning, I think, 10 out of 11 at one point when the whole Catholic trend was going around. So the Phillies will bounce back. They will be a good team. Bryce Harper is expected to be back in 8 days. It'll be freaking a week when some of you guys listen to this podcast. And I just think that once they find their identity without Bryce Harper, they're going to be a dangerous team because Bryce Harper is going to be like the icing on the cake. We saw what the Phillies can be. I guess it was the one inning that he was there. I don't remember when it was, but he comes in the game and they put up so many runs in one inning. Might have been against the Blue Jays, actually. But I'm just trying to say, if he can come in and kind of be the icing on the cake, this team's going to get really good really fast. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you guys think the Phillies can fix this problem? Who do you guys think is to blame for the Phillies? Obviously, Thompson can be somebody that some people want to blame for that. Obviously, I saw some people trying to blame, what's his name? Trey Turner and Harper. I know Trey Turner isn't the player that we expected him to be, but he's one of the best players hitting in the league right now. So it's not necessarily that one guy's the problem. It's that as a team, they're not playing as a cohesive unit. Like Amir said, you can't get swept by the Pirates. That's freaking embarrassing. That's not good. So hopefully the Phillies will bounce back. Hopefully they'll get their shit together. We'll find out. We'll see. But bringing on my co-host and my partner in crime for the Eagles post-game show, I'm going to ask Jack Dorton, my old buddy. So I don't know if you heard, Jack, welcome to the show. First off, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Thank you for being here. Vic Fangio and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. have both said in different ways this past week that they think Jalen Carter is very talented, number one, but number two, that he still has a lot of improving to do. They both said it in different ways. I like the way that Vic Fangio said it. Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s direct quote was, he's still learning the position, which is a pretty blunt way to put that. What are your thoughts on all this? Do you think it's good criticism, bad criticism? What do you think?
I think it's good criticism. I think Jalen Carter has been playing very well recently, and I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. can learn from these young guys and how they can improve, how he can improve upon his play and see the field more. Because if you watch like last year, in the Super Bowl he had a few tackles towards the end of the game when they brought him in because we were kicking the Chiefs' butt by a lot. So I think he has that dog in him. He has that mentality that his dad had when he was in Philadelphia. So I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to be a force to reckon with. I think we see him more and more, this season and see what he can do. But I think I can rely on him heavily. I think him and we'll see what they do. But I think him and Zach Bond could be a pretty good tandem in the middle. So we'll see what the OTAs bring, but I'm confident in him.
Yeah, I totally get why, man. I mean, I think it's good criticism too. I'm with you. If Vic Fangio's saying it, Vic Fangio put it in a pretty nice, blunt way. He said, I think that Jalen Carter has blossomed. I think that he's still a great player. He's improved, but he's still got a lot of improving to do, which I totally agree with. I definitely think so. As a player, you need to be comfortable with that. You need to accept that, and you need to basically say, okay, you know what? This guy's trying to help me out. Trotter, however, that's a little bit different. I'm interested to see what some of the people in the comments think, because if I'm Trotter, or really Trotter Jr., right? And my teammate is saying that about me. So if I'm Jalen Carter and Trotter Jr.'s dad, Trotter's saying that about me, number one, I'm going to take that personally. Number two, if I'm Trotter Jr., I'm probably going to be like, could you please shut up? Like, this is my teammate. This is my coworker. Like, I don't need you throwing shade at him, even if you mean it in a good way. You aren't a sports analysis. Like, that's not what you do. And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way that your opinion is invalid. Like, what half of you said is right. Like, saying that he still has a lot of room to grow is not wrong. But the way you said it is the problem. There's two different ways to say it. There's the Vic Fangio way, and there's the Jeremiah Trotter Sr. way. Say it the Vic Fangio way. I want to see real quick, old school. Dennis, the Menace, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, buddy. What's up?
So how do you feel about all this, Vic Fangio? Do you think it's soft? Do you think it's honest? What do you think?
Vic's Vic. Vic's from the old school. He's Jim Johnson era. Learning under Jim, he's always going to push the lines of how Jim did, because even Jim wasn't scared to shy away from media questions, and he wasn't afraid to pull a punch when he needed to. In the terms of saying that somebody's still growing, like Trotter saying that's big stuff still coming from him. And honestly, if Jalen Carter ain't scratched the surface yet, then God bless the NFL in year 5 or 6.
Yeah, I agree. I love how you put it. Like, it comes from a good place. It's honest. And I think he wants the best for this team, which I 100% agree with. I think a lot of the people, you just got to phrase it differently if you're Jeremiah Trotter Sr. Because I'm worried about how is Jalen Carter going to take it. It doesn't matter how I take it. Doesn't matter how you take it. Doesn't matter how Jack takes it. It really matters about how JC takes it, right? So hopefully he takes it with a grain of salt. I think he has thick skin, and he's going to understand that it's just like, I don't know if you guys remember A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts' beef this past year when BG went on WIP and all that went down. They said BG's just going to be like that. That's how Unc is. You know what I mean? And I think some of these older players, that's sometimes how they are. They're just trying to give feedback, and they don't mean it in a bad way. They're just trying to be honest, and they think that they're helping. And I'm not saying that they aren't. It's just sometimes there's a different way to go about it, if that makes sense. So I don't think it was disrespectful, but I also think that I could see if Jalen Carter gets upset about this, I'm, for one, not going to be surprised. I'm going to go, okay, yeah, I'm not shocked by that. Like, that makes a lot of sense. You're muted, D.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're all good. But yeah.
Like the biggest thing of it, like I want everybody to think about it like this. Again, there's an age difference between me, you, and Jack. I'm 33. You know what I mean? So I'm used to the 04 era team with Jim Johnson and how Johnson said things and how the players said things and how they took things. And again, how people are these days, they're soft. I'm sorry to say it, but people are soft and can't take criticism. And, you know, if you want to say it's disrespectful, Jack, then that's fine. But again, you're not from the era of when I played, when coaches would scream in your face, you suck, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. This is how you're going to be better. This is how you make it better. And unfortunately, some of these people need that these days. And I'm so mad that I can't coach the way that I used to because people are so soft. Like, if your kid needs to be screamed at to be motivated, then it shouldn't be an issue. But all these people are worried about, you're picking on my kid. You're picking on that. Like, these are grown ass men. If you can't take criticism or somebody saying that you're not even scratching the surface yet, then you need to go check back to middle school, go back to Little League, and go play that football. I do not think Jalen Carter is going to have a problem with it because I think he respects everybody that's been through there. He did sit with Fletcher. He did sit with BG. He sat with some of the greats there. And even Jason Kelsey being there, like, he knows what smash mouth football is. Again, this day and age, football is not smash mouth football. It's patty cake football. And again, like we've all said before, eventually the National Football Leagues are probably going to be the National Flag Football League. That's just what it is. And again, if he can't take it, then look, I'll go on a wedge and I'll go on the ledge and say it, and I'll jump if I'm wrong. Jalen Carter, if you can't take the heat of somebody telling you that you're still not even scratching the surface, then leave the team and go play for somebody else and take Reed Blankenship with you.
Oh my God, you always got to throw that last part in there. But
when you get somebody like Jack putting a comment like that, I mean, what do you want?
I'm with you though. Like, if you can't take someone that's been through the ringer, that's been through the fire, trying to give you feedback, like, it isn't like the only thing he said was bad either. He did give love, like at the end. Philly captain says it best. Sometimes you got the tough love, and sometimes you got the love. And I think in that moment, maybe because you just won a Super Bowl, love would have been the best thing. But I get what he was trying to do. So if Jalen Carter is going to take it personally and kind of rebel against the team and be like, you know what? I don't want to do this, which I don't think he is. I think Jalen Carter is going to be fine. Like, I know you two do as well. But if he did, I agree with Dennis. Like, get out that mentality now, because this team is a Super Bowl organization. I'm really happy with what A.J. Brown has become mentally. Like, if you're looking at his social media, he's kind of quieted down. He seems like he's found peace. And I know that I, for one, I'll go out on a limb. I was wrong. I said I wanted to potentially trade A.J. Brown with the 4th overall pick. I was so wrong about that. Right now, where A.J. Brown is mentally, I thought after a Super Bowl, you know what, maybe we've kind of squeezed all the juice out of that orange, and he's all, not as motivated anymore. I think he's 10 times more motivated now by what I've seen through his Instagram. I think he's way more locked in than he was, and I think that we're going to see him truly ascend to undoubtedly, undeniably, the number 1 best wide receiver in the NFL. I think that this is going to be AJ's year. And I know that may come out like a big shock to some people, the Vikings fans, the Justin Jefferson lovers, the Jamar Chase lovers. But I really do think that this could be A.J. Brown's year it's going to be his career year. I'll leave it at that.
I don't think you're wrong, though, because even in high school, again, we never got to the state championship. We never really made it past the second round of the playoffs with Glasgow. But even after that first playoff win, when we beat Newark that year, like, we were hungry. Like, we wanted to win. And then we had to go to Sussex Central. And you guys being at Sally's, you guys know how tough Sussex Central is. Sussex Central was always a tough team. I mean, you guys don't really know my era because you guys were, probably middle school, elementary school at that point still. Either way, but I mean, like, the way his Instagram looks, he's more hungry now than he was the one they were 2 years ago. They won it, and now he's like, all right, now we got revenge on our mind. We got the one we made up for. Now we got to catch up. Just like what Jalen was saying to Devontae, like, we got some catching up to do. So, like, these boys ain't done. The old motto reigns true. Hungry dogs run faster, and these boys are still hungry, and there's a lot of meat left on the bone. as far as CJ Gardner-Johnson goes, for what he's saying, the guy's upset. You know, he didn't want to leave. He loved Philadelphia. If it was a budget thing, all right, you know, cool. If it wasn't because of his, I think it was a mixture of both his ego, his on and off stuff. But again, nobody can deny what the man did for us. Yeah, he costed us a bunch of touchdowns because he let stuff go, but look how much he did do when he did make an impact. So, like, he kind of this team is built to win. Their hungry dogs run faster, and there's a lot of meat left on the bone, and that's all I can say about it. Oh, and I didn't get to say hi, Jack.
Yeah. You're not wrong, though. There's a lot of meat left on the bone for sure, with the potential, with where they can go, and with what they can accomplish. I think you put that perfectly. That maybe have to be the quote on the week. I love that.
You ever notice that Jack looks like a mime when he mutes himself? Like he's
Why do you say that?
He's going to jump through the camera and whoop your ass over there, and then you two are going to have to, you know, really take it down in the ring in Florida. Look out for that. We'll have to see Jack's wrestling name. That will be one that will be funny.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll ask Luchador if you can borrow a mask or
what's
something.
his name? Hold on. What was what's his name? Hold on. What's his name? What's that punching game's name? What do they always call it?
Punch out?
The human punch out machine. Or the human concussion machine.
He did say he would do it one more time. He said he would redeem himself. For those of you guys that don't know, if you know the machine that drops down with the punching bag, Jack, you know, he's loosening the neck because he has a few times, you know, headbutted it. But hey, I think that hurts a lot more for the punching bag than Jack. So somebody check on the punching bag machine, see if it's okay. But Dennis, I appreciate you joining me, man. Hope you have a good night, brother.
Back to Warzone.
Have a good one, bro. If you guys haven't, please give Dennis a follow at Dennis3026ers. He's busting ass. He's doing a great job, and we love that, man. He's killing it. Moving on now to our next topic. We got Amir in the house. Amir, I got an interesting question for you, man. I'll let you take it first as our guest. Situationally, what is the best Gatorade?
What situation?
So, any situation, first off. And secondly, I would say refreshing would be, first off, what's the best Gatorade overall? Like just every day, if you could pick one Gatorade for the rest of your life, what would it be? Secondly, after that, I want to know, okay, what's your most refreshing? Twofold question.
All right. So I feel like it's kind of the same answer for both. If we're taking best taste, I think you gotta look. I was like a weird kid. I really liked the orange one. My two when I was younger, orange and lemon lime. And I feel like you really got to stick with lemon lime because that was the original. The original is the original for a reason. Like how The Godfather, the first one's the best one. There's a reason that the lemon lime is the original. That's the best refreshing one. It's the best overall for every situation. Last time I had a Gatorade, I was like, "Whoa, I haven't had this in a long, long time." And there were so many options. I don't know what they're doing now with these collab flavors where they're doing 2-in-1, but I still went for the lemon lime.
Yeah, I totally get that. Jack, what about you? From your perspective, what's your favorite? Best overall first.
I like the Glacier Freeze. Glacier Freeze is my best overall. If I need one to, like, if I, was out in the heat golfing or things like that, I think I got to rock with the lemon lime. If I'm on a golf course, I typically will, pour or buy a yellow lemonade or yellow Gatorade and drink that. But I think overall flavor, taste wise, I think Glacier Freeze is the go-to.
Glacier Freeze is a great one. That's mine. And it wasn't always that way. But when I got to college and I first experienced a hangover for the first time, that's when I understood the importance of a blue Gatorade. Like that morning blue Gatorade or that 3 a.m. blue Gatorade it's literally like Fortnite slurp juice. And I don't even play Fortnite, but you see how it's depicted in the video game, and that's what it feels like drinking that blue Gatorade. I have a little ranking here. Number 1 was the Glacier Freeze for me. 2, it's funny you say that, Amir. I actually had the Gator Light, like the one that does all the electrolyte hydration. Maybe they put some pickle juice or some shit in it. I don't know. But that, I actually picked orange. I think that grape is also criminally underrated flavor. The wheel tonight is going to be whatever flavor that lands on is the best Gatorade overall. Now, the most refreshing for me, now it looks like it landed on blue, we'll say.
That's green. I don't know. That looks like it's green. That's like the cucumber and lime pepino sauce.
That might be green. Yeah. That one sucks if that's the case. That cucumber
I
one.
had that
I know
once.
what one you're talking about. That one's
Awful.
ass.
It tastes like toothpaste.
Yeah, that one's ass cheeks. I agree with you, dude. That one's horrible. But number 1, Glacier. 2, orange. 3, grape. 4, after that, it's kind of debatable for me. I'll say I don't really like fruit punch. I think that the fruit punch is kind of ass. Like that fruit punch, if you like Gatorade fruit punch, there's something kind of wrong with you, in my opinion. I don't mean it as in a mean way. I just think it's like it tastes like a fake fruit punch to me, if that makes sense. Like a
Every
Tango
fruit punch is fake.
punch. Well, yes and no, but like Gatorade's is easy to mask of why it's fake. I'm thinking of some of the other flavors. So they get the rain, the clear one was pretty good. The darker blue that they have, like the cherry, and also the dark purple one that they have is pretty good. They have a lot of good flavors. It's kind of bad to mess up a Gatorade. Lemon lime is also good as well. I like your guys' answer that if that's something you're trying to do a sport, or if that's something you're trying to refresh, lemon lime's a great answer. I just think like lemon lime for me is what I drank as a kid when I was sick. So it's hard for me to look at, like, if any of you guys, I know, shout out to Frank watching. Frank, I love you, man. If Frank's out there, Frank's old like me, and he probably drank Gatorade out of the juice boxes back in the day. When you would get sick, I don't know if anyone else's family did that, but my parents would go get like Gatorade in a juice box. And I just remember drinking the lemon lime Gatorade out of the juice box as a kid. And now every time I taste that lemon lime Gatorade, it's almost like tasting like Dimetap or cough syrup for me. Like it's what sick tastes like to me. Ugh.
I think there's a fun fact that lemon lime Gatorade has been the Super Bowl Gatorade for years now. I know it's not always lemon lime, but I think the vast percent of that is typically lemon lime.
Well, if we can bet on it right now, that would be amazing. Also, Frank saying Powerade. Powerade is underrated.
No, he's saying powdered Gatorade, like the powder you make your own Gatorade.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I never
Yeah.
did. I did that actually in college a little bit because it was cheaper. It wasn't as good, I will say.
The
Frank,
jug, the jug you just scoop in. Swoop.
yeah, I would take 1 scoop, but I would use like a half scoop because 1 scoop I felt like was a lot of sugar. But yeah, dude, it wasn't the same. It really wasn't. Like when you buy Gatorade in a bottle, you put it in the fridge, you get it out at 3 a.m. That's the shit, in my opinion. There's nothing better than that. So situationally, let us know in the comments, what situation are you drinking? What Gatorade flavor? That's why I said situationally, so you guys can kind of decide on your own. What situation do you think is the best Gatorade? What do you think, Amir?
Although, I'm going to give some 302 Birds health advice. If you're actually an athlete, I don't think you should be drinking Gatorade. I do martial arts. I'm not drinking Gatorade. Nobody drinks Gatorade. It's a scam. It's not what it used to be. What you gotta do is if you're gonna do the Bryce Harper method, do the Bryce Harper method. But if you want to buy all that, take some water, take some pink Himalayan salt, and some lemon juice. That's all you need. It might taste off at first, but you don't need all that sugar. You don't need blue Ice Crush, Glacier Freeze, Titanic hitting the iceberg. You don't need that. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, you're not about it, so I guess you're going to coin your term Amirade.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe I'll have to try some Amirade. But yeah, let us know in the comments as well, what is your best Gatorade flavor? I'll let both of you guys stick around for this last topic because I want to see what you guys think of this. So the latest and the greatest is that Cooper DeJean might be moving to safety, which is kind of wild to think about. When we first drafted him, there were a lot of talks of, okay, he's going to eventually be moved to safety or he's going to be a safety. We knew he would play maybe a little bit of special teams, but now there is a lot of talks that Vic Fangio mentioned in a press conference, and now the media is going crazy over it. That was the first thing that came up a lot when I looked up Eagles today. And that is that Vic Fangio said, we're going to play Cooper wherever's best for the team, whether that be cornerback, whether that be nickel, whether that be safety. He slipped it in there. It was slick, but it worked. And I'll say this. I don't have a problem with this at all. I would like Cooper DeJean to primarily play nickel, but if the Eagles feel like he's best positioned at safety in a certain package, I don't have a problem with it at all. As long as he's playing a secondary position, he's going to find a way to get the ball in his hands because he said it on his way here. He's a football player. That's what he does. He does whatever's best for the football team. So personally, if he plays safety, I'm not scared. If he plays corner, I'm not scared. If he plays nickel, I'm not scared because he's a football player. Jack, what do you think?
Playing outside when they're in base.
Josh, what do you think?
Safety. He's playing outside. He's going to play nickel, and then when they go to base, he's playing outside. He's not playing safety.
Yeah, no, I think we just drafted Makuba. I think he'll be our safety. And I think we keep Cooper out at the outside and then work him in at nickel in different packages. But I think it'll be a mistake for us to put him at safety.
Amir, what do you think?
You know, there's that one song like Cooper DeJean is not a safety. If it works for the team, then it works for the team. But after the amazing defensive season we had, although we lost a couple pieces, our secondary was phenomenal. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. So unless if in training camp we see him play phenomenal as safety and we're like, okay, this is going to benefit the team way more than if he's at corner, let him get another Super Bowl pick 6. If we make it to Super Bowl, the next Super Bowl, we're going to see.
Yeah, I think Makuba. Jack brings up a great point about Makuba. Makuba's ceiling is what's really going to determine if he has any reps at safety and injury, knocking on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if someone goes down in the secondary and there's injury, that I think would be the only time that we could potentially see Cooper DeJean playing safety. And I'm sure that's something that Vic Fangio talked about with the team. You know, I'm sure he sat down and said, hey, worst case scenario, preparing for the worst. Who do we feel like could play secondary? And he probably said, you know what? We don't need to waste another roster spot on somebody because if we need to move him here, Cooper DeJean can play here. Like it's like playing Madden, you know, when you have those roster spots. And I don't know that he meant to say it in the press conference, Vic Fangio, because I don't know that Vic Fangio knew that it would kind of cause this media storm. Like I said, he kind of slipped it in there at the end. If he knew that it would get this much pushback and this much hate and all that stuff, I don't think that Vic Fangio personally would have said it. I think he would have just been like, yeah, we're going to put Cooper at safety, we're going to put Cooper at nickel or outside corner, whatever's best for the team. And he would have left it at that. Slipping safety in there, I think he might have just been talking fast and it may have been like a contingency plan, end all be all. But I wouldn't expect to see this right off the bat because like Amir said, like Jack said, they had so much success with him in other spots. Why would they break it? Right. So we'll find out. But that's all I got for you guys this week. I just want to keep it a little bit lighter because we got Jack's show coming up here in a second. Weekend's Last Beers. Amir, I appreciate you joining us as well. Can you please let the people know where they can give you a follow?
If you want great food advice, one and done reviews, it's me and my dad. If you're a small business, food business in New Jersey, send us a DM. We'll go check you out. But if you want the best sports takes, part of 302 Birds, Amir 302 Birds. If you're watching the video, it's right there.
Thank you, Amir, dude. I appreciate you. And keep up with Amir's safety, guys. He's counting down the days until kickoff with the greatest Eagles player with each number, right?
What is Amir's safety?
or not Amir safety. Sorry, Amir 302 birds. I'm looking at safety in my head. Dyslexia, 30,000 things at once going on. But seriously, make sure to give Amir a follow at Amir 302 birds. He's doing 100 days until kickoff. The greatest Eagles player at every position. So I guess what is today? 90 days out?
No, 88.
88? I think I may know who you may use, but I'm not going to spoil it. I'll keep an eye out for the video.
Here's a hint. Philly.
Oh, okay. That's an
Yeah.
interesting one. All right. Well, I'll have to check it out for sure. I think I know who you're talking about. But thank you again, Amir.
See ya. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Guys, please be sure to give Amir a follow. Jack, I'll be joining you soon, man, on Weekend's Last Beer. I appreciate you guys. Be sure to give Jack a follow. It's at J_Dordan, right?
Yeah, but it's at Weekend's Last Beer is our Instagram. So make sure you follow that.
Yes, please make sure to give Weekend's Last Beers a follow, Jack. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. I'll see you soon. And other than that, guys, that's all we got tonight for you. If you haven't, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All those little things mean a ton. I really appreciate all you guys. Hope everybody has a great week. Be safe. My name is Dalton Holland, and I appreciate your input.
Let's go, Phillies!
KJ and I out here.
You are now listening to the Appreciate Your Input podcast with host Dalton